scoop that up off the floor. Force the action with the dribble right now. Force the officials to call some fouls.
Bridges.
That's the one for the last 4 minutes or so that they couldn't get this thing under 6. They were kind of stuck at 6. Now all of a sudden they're in pretty good shape from a belief standpoint. Let's see if there's hesitation with Houston.
Shed, 3 to shoot. Bodies bumping, he comes up short. It's a one-possession game here in Waco.
Don't worry about that 3. Nice catch
Nunn's
there.
pass deflected. Nisi underneath. He's got Francis on his back. They'll reset to Nunn, now to Dennis. As we move under the 4-minute mark.
They want Dennis going left. They want Dennis going left. Here we go.
Dennis hounded by Shed. This is Bridges. Waltzes into the paint. He coughs it up. Ahead of the field, he Shed. Lays it up. Nunn got him from the back. And right now, this feels like a heavyweight fight in Waco.
Sure does. Lace him up. That's why they don't give me a whistle.
3 minutes left. One possession game. Boy, Baylor has been in a number of these games, haven't they, this year? Shed down the paint, lays up. He's missed 8 straight shots.
That's a swipe by Roberts in the middle of the floor, too. So how important was it before when they forced the action to get to the bonus? Watch at the very end here. Shots that were going in the first half. Watch 13. Take a swipe at the ball. He has no chance of getting it. And then clearly you're putting the Bridges back to the line.
Such a huge call. Bonus situation. 1-and-1 for Bridges. Again, their best free throw shooter. But 4 of Baylor's 7 losses this year, Jimmy, have been one-possession games. You think of that triple overtime game that they lost here. Their only loss in this new building against TCU. And right now, it's a 2-point game. Baylor has never led in this game.
I don't want to jinx it, but he is just money at the line. Does the same thing over and over again. Just repetition.
Beautiful
shot.
Second year for him at Baylor. After 2 years at West Virginia, he has brought the Bears to within a point. This is the closest they've been since Houston took the 2-0 lead to start. You talk about dominance. Houston hasn't trailed in weeks. Short to the cup, he missed it. Francis on his stick back.
But he brought 3 Bears with him on that drive, allowing the offensive glass to open up for 2 Houston players.
This is when Houston has been so good late in tight games. Can they do it on the road here in Waco? That is Bridges.
And that is beautiful separation, Spirit. You see him get to the lane, but he wasn't satisfied because Roberts was right on him. What do you have to do? You have to make a little room for your jumper, and he pushed away and got 2 feet of separation.
Shed underneath. Smart pass. Francis backdoor.
Shed does it with a purpose, an understanding of what's going on, where his opportunities are going to be, either for himself or the setup.
Jamal Shed, one of the elite players in the country.
They got Francis coming through just then.
Bonus situation, 1-and-1 for Baylor. And another look at some of the handiwork by Shed.
Now watch this separation, too. You see how tight they are there? Now he steps away. Look how much room he has. There's about 3 feet of shooting distance to get his shot off in a little bit of traffic, but not much.
Key call against Javier Francis, as it's going to put Jacoby Walter at the line. 1-and-1 for Baylor. 1:39 left as Francis has picked up his 4th. First-year starter for Kelvin Sampson.
And to a degree, they have turned this into a free throw shooting contest. And the right guys have been getting to the line for Baylor also, whether it be Walter or Bridges.
And boy, they have cashed in at the free throw line. 16 of 18 at the stripe are the Bears today. 1-point game.
Houston's a great team. They just got to pull together and play through the noise.
This place is electric.
And they're looking for one stop here.
Here he comes into the paint, bottled up. Sharp knifes it, he lost it. And this is going to be a reach-in foul. Oof. Crowd can't believe it. Boy, it looked like Sharp had lost control. Bonus situation for Houston. Sharp to the line for 1-and-1.
I don't see that one. I don't see it. Well, maybe if he gets him from behind. Maybe because of the noise, we couldn't hear the foul.
The foul was charged to Walton, so they did get him on
they got him on the reach. Right, that's a good call. Just can't hear the whistle in here. Watch the reach around. Right there, that's a foul. Because he knocks his arm, not the ball. He knocks the arm, which forces the ball away.
Sharp hits on the front end. We're told that Gene Steratore agrees with Jimmy. Said that the call should have been made.
Yeah, now if he hit the ball on that play, then play on, and it's up for grabs in the middle of the floor. But he got him by the arm. You could see that his arm lifted up.
Boy, those are big-time free throws from Emmanuel Sharp, the Tampa native redshirt sophomore. 3-point game, but still a one-possession game with 66 seconds left.
Be confident with the ball. Face up and go after somebody off the dribble.
Dennis, here he comes to the cup. He missed it.
Question there, Baylor's looking for whether that ball got to the glass or not.
Ray J. Dennis, who's been so good in the second half, somehow couldn't hit. Houston trying to run that clock. 12 on the timer, 37 left in regulation. Shed.
Oh, small versus big.
This is the moment he lives for. He elevates. Too much. 25 seconds in a one-possession game. Baylor has it down 3.
Yeah, don't need a 3 right here. There
Dennis
you go. Beauty.
Turns the corner. It's going to be a goaltend.
Yep, that got to... When you take that ball, Spiro, to the basket like that, the inside...
The Cougars.
It's the football lineup right here, so watch for somebody to come back. They'll all start running this way, and then one will come back.
So many heart-stopping finishes that Baylor has played in this season. Inbound.
Got a foul right there.
And then a quick reach. And boy, they went for the foul with Nunn and Dennis hounding Damian Dunn. And it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Dunn and Houston.
Yeah, he goes right into the middle of the traffic, too. A very difficult spot to catch the ball. Baylor had a chance just then with 3 guys around him.
So Damian Dunn really had a prolific career at Temple. 3 years at Temple, scored a ton of points. The adjustment in his first year within this Houston program has been a little bit difficult. 67% free throw shooter on the season for the former all-conference player at Temple. And a sellout crowd bearing down on him here in Waco. Jimmy, these are tough free throws. You can think about it in the driveway growing up. Nothing prepares you for this kind of a moment.
Well, a couple of quick things, too, Spiro. If it goes to 3, Kelvin Sampson does not like the foul in those situations. But I don't think Baylor needs a 3 yet. They can bust it down the floor and maybe get something with 10 on the shot clock.
1 of 2. It's a 2-point game. Here we go.
Let's still go to the basket if you could quickly.
10 seconds. Dennis lobs it. Nisi on the catch. And he lays it in. And he's fouled.
Watch Dennis run the traffic here. He goes over the top because he recognizes in a hurry that Nisi has a mismatch down low. It's big versus little. That's where you have the advantage. And a beautiful catch and a better delivery down on the baseline.
Yves Nisi, the 5-star freshman from Cameroon who had not hit a shot all day, has a chance to put the Bears in front with 4.4 left. Again, keep in mind, no timeouts left for Houston. So Kelvin Sampson barking out instructions. Assistants notifying the team of their offensive set coming up. Messi, 59% free throw shooter. He missed it. It's loose. Shed, 1 second. Shed elevates and hits. Jamal Shed stops the show with a jaw dropper. The officials will go to the monitor to confirm. But Jamal Shed has left them stunned. And boy, looking at the replay, Jimmy, that looked like it's still in his hands.
Yeah, I think you have to look at the red light initially.
His vantage point, zeros, and it's still in his hands.
Yeah, he's cocking that right wrist.
Unbelievable. Gene checking back in with us. Gene, take us through this sequence.
Yeah, pretty clear, as you mentioned, guys. And, I mean, amazing shot by Shed, but I think we can clearly see it looks like about 0.2 of a second.
No basket.
Here's the official confirmation.
Yep.
That we're headed to overtime here in Waco.
So Spiro, as Gene touched on.
They've won 9 of their last 10 against the Baylor team that begins the day in that 3-way tie for 3rd place in the Big 12. Ray J. Dennis, maybe the biggest reason why Baylor was able to come back, and he's given the Bears their first lead today.
And a little spot there from him going behind the back before his jump shot to give him a little extra boost going to his left.
Back from 17 down and back from the dead are the Bears. Roberts with a little leader.
Yeah, with your point about the 17 down, quite candidly, I think a lot of people in this building, maybe us sitting here at halftime, but there may have been a knockout punch delivered in the first half, but they got off the canvas.
4th overtime game that Baylor has played this season. Boy, they turned Bridges back. What a defensive play by Francis, again, who's playing with 4 personals. Crowd wanted a foul that never came. And for those expecting to see the Washington game at Arizona, it's now available at CBSSports.com, and the CBS Sports app will get you out to that game as soon as this one is over. Spiro Vitas, Jim Spanarkel.
Oh, you can go back and get that.
Nunn tracks it down for Baylor. Just over a minute gone by in overtime. Nunn against Sharp.
Oh,
shows the handle. Nunn. Boy, everything but the finish. Shed. Boy, the run out by Sharp, but too much on the pass. Critical mistake by Shed.
Yeah, not many mistakes by Shed, but that was a dandy of a move to get that shot off. And Sharp gets beaten so badly, but what he decides to do is not get back into the fray defensively and sneaks out, but just too long, or he would have had a nice, easy layup on that one.
Jimmy, just think of all the close games that Baylor has played this year. That heartbreaker triple overtime loss here to TCU. Can they somehow score what would be a massive win? Off balance 3. Bridges, offensive rebound, Messi. Nunn.
Who's going to get it?
Oh, boy, Nunn, it went right through his fingertips, and then it's short. Cryer, they say, is fouled. And this crowd irate.
See, what the fans will get mad at right now is that there's a scrum at half court, right? And bodies are going all over the place. But now the ball becomes free, and watch number 11 in white. Ball gets up right now, and he reaches in at the last second.
Scott Drew pacing in front of that Baylor bench as L.J. Cryer, who spent his last 3 years here in Waco, all conference last year, scored better than 15 per game.
I'm not so sure you're going to distract him, an 86% free throw shooter. You can try, and you should try if you're Baylor fans.
Kelvin Sampson told us he recruited Cryer coming out of high school in Katy, Texas. Chose Baylor. What a decision that turned out to be. A freshman on their 2021 national championship team. And what a key piece has become for Sampson finally within this Houston program. 2-point Cougars lead with 3 minutes left in overtime.
And once again, trying to get Dennis to go to his left, and he walks with
Boy,
it.
traveling violation. Dennis arguing that he was pushed. No call.
Let's see if any hands touch him. So he's double teamed right now.
It's a good no call.
Yeah, I think so. After that little hand check, he got an opportunity to not walk, but he did.
Jim, I gotta say, this has been a terrifically officiated game by one of the great veteran crews, and give them all kinds of credit.
Yeah, and not an easy style to officiate.
Sharp lets it fly too much.
We can still push in overtime. There you go.
Nunn, here he comes, baseline, turn back. How big has Francis been inside?
You just have to keep challenging, though, I think.
Dennis gets him reset, taking on Shed, off-balance floater, misses, and it's going to be a loose ball foul against Houston.
And Shed with the grab. I still like the way Baylor is playing this in overtime here. He tries to challenge. A pretty good foul, even though he brings that good block. He brings that arm down. This is the difficult one with the fall away, but Dennis gets back into the play.
So double bonus now, Jimmy, for both teams here down the stretch. 2:14 left in overtime. Kelvin Sampson barking out some instructions for Cryer as Ray J. Dennis readies at the line.
71% free throw shooter.
Dennis, the senior, started at Toledo, then Boise State. Last year, unanimous player of the year in the MAC. Better than 19 per game at Toledo. 1 of 2. It's a 1-point Houston lead. And here we go.
Remember in the first half against this matchup zone, they had great activity at the elbow, catching it and looking to the blocks.
2 minutes left in overtime. Cryer. Here he comes underneath Roberts, the stumble. Back out. This is Francis out a leader, and he puts it down.
Did Roberts make a play just then, too? Little bit of trouble along the baseline, smart enough to kick it towards the middle. Tell you, they play well together, don't they, in terms of understanding where Francis and Roberts are going to be on the floor at all times.
8 points for Francis. It's still a one-possession game with under 90 left in overtime. Nunn bottled up by Sharp, looking for a seam to spin underneath. But Nisi lost it on his way up.
Yeah, could have been a little contact on the dribble, too, in the middle of the lane.
Boy, it was beautifully set up for him, and Nisi had a wide-open layup.
Huge possession, obviously, right now. Both ends.
60 seconds. Shed probing. Roberts poked away. It's Dennis. How many big plays has Ray J. Dennis made since halftime? 41 seconds. Let that drama build a little more here in Waco.
Pull up. He's good.
Walter up and under.
Oh, I don't know about
this
that
is going to be an offensive interference. No basket. They say that Nisi got it above the cylinder and at first glance appeared to be the right call.
I think so. I think because both officials, one on each side of the floor, both had the same call. And I don't think it kicks off. This one might help, but
Gene Steratore, our rules analyst, is the official.
And I think they still come up with the right choice, guys.
Because I think if they don't make a call, they couldn't review it.
Exactly right.
Exactly, Jimmy.
So catch, and let's look for a fouling opportunity.
Boy, Cryer is tripped. This is going to be on Bridges. Boy, that was not the intent.
No, not at all. But Cryer's the guy they want to get to the line. Either him, Shed, or Sharp.
In a one-possession game, you just want to play defense straight up if you're Baylor. What a tough break as Bridges called on a trip. And L.J. Cryer, the terrific free throw shooter,
You know,
to the line for 2.
And ultimately, Spiro, that's a real difficult spot to be in terms of whether you foul or not. So even though he's a great free throw shooter, if I'm Baylor, I don't have a problem with that foul to stop the clock.
Well, you just think of how good Cryer was last 3 years in this program. I don't think he could have ever dreamt he'd be in this moment, standing in this building in front of a fan base that used to love him. He's made this a 2-possession game and a 4-point Houston lead with 33.6 left in overtime. What a game this has been.
Fabulous.
Cryer calmly hits 2, quiets this sellout crowd. It's a 5-point game, and now Scott Drew and Baylor need something quickly.
Yeah, you're going to need a 3 at some point probably, but if you get an opportunity to take a quick layup, push it up the floor in a hurry.
Inbound to Dennis. Streaks up the floor. Dennis going to elevate, fire a 3, misses everything. Wilson the clear, he's fouled, and now Houston has a chance to put it away at the free throw line.
Yeah, that's why I like that drive with that amount of time left on the clock, Spiro, because if you don't make that 3, then the probability of really things going in your favor gets more and more difficult.
Boy, Baylor missing its last 7 after they took the lead to begin overtime. And give this Houston team so much credit. Jimmy, they have passed every single test, it seems like, this season, year 1 in the Big 12.
And not only that, in just this game alone, they passed a bunch of tests, I thought.
And they're making a pretty strong case to maybe take over that #1 spot in the country. Roberts just swallows up Walter.
Well, you get the first defensive effort just then by Wilson. That allows the shooter to slow up just a little bit, allowing your big guy to step across and block the shot.
20.3 left. Inbound pass taken away by Shed. Sharp comes out of the fray. Final seconds. Walter is going to foul Sharp. And the Cougars ready to turn out the lights on Baylor.
Almost 3 different games this afternoon here. The first half, the second half, and now overtime. Houston stepping it up.
Houston's going to win this game, Jimmy, but did you see something from Baylor? Maybe a turning point game to come back down 17, take a lead in overtime.
Yeah, what I saw with them is that they're a quality number 11 team in the country, and the adjustments at halftime that Scott Drew made, I think, were terrific. They came back and bounced back with confidence after really getting hit pretty hard in that first half.
Another reminder, we'll get you out quickly to Washington, Arizona, as soon as this one becomes final. As Houston is going to get to 24-3, 11-3 in conference play. Remember, they had the back-to-back road losses, Iowa State and at GCU. Since that point, they're now going to improve to 10-1. Jimmy, they are as good as any team in the country. And the only question is going to be how far this Cougars team can go.
Because people talk about their defense, and rightfully so, but they can score a little bit better than people are recognizing.
Indeed they can. As they continue to make their case. As Kelvin Sampson's team is going to come to Waco and score a big one in the Big 12. Every time Baylor will fall to 19-8 and just 8-6 in conference play. What a day for L.J. Cryer. All the emotions, Jimmy, coming back here.
You can't imagine what was going through his mind, and has stepped up in some pretty big spots with the free throws. It's almost as like he's in the gym by himself.
15 points, right at his season average. 3 huge threes. As the last-second layup by Nunn will be just a footnote as the Houston Cougars come to Waco and survive in an overtime thriller. 80